Ciao a tutti amici di Groove Portal, siamo qui insieme a Hanness Grossmann, drummer di Blocked Science and Obscura. So Hanness, it's great to have you for this video interview for Groove Portal. I would like to start this video interview and talking about your first Italian drum clinic tour.
Yes, since I was lucky enough to be invited to Italy, we were able to pull off some clinic shows, which have been, I think, a great success. And I was really, I didn't have any expectations because you never know how it's going to turn out. And turned out very, very positive, with a lot of people attending to the clinics and asking a lot of questions. And I think I can be lucky to get the chance to do that. And I hope we can, maybe do it in the future again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a great time eating a lot of pasta and, and talking with a lot of great people. So, yeah, I think it was really, really good experience.
Okay, and another question about maybe drum clinics. Before this clinic tour, you took part at the Hanness Drums World Festival.
Yes, that's right. I don't know how that came together. I got just in contact with them. I wrote John, the guy from Adam's Drum World in the drum department. I wrote him an email and asked hey, didn't you're doing this drum festival? I would love to play there. And he said, hey, sure. But then the first time it didn't work out because I was on tour with my band, and that was the year when Steve Smith played. And I was like, damn it, I would have loved to play with Steve Smith because I like him a lot as a player. But then John said, no worries, we will do it the next time, which happened to be on my birthday. So this was a great birthday. I was playing with a lot of great drummers such as Emiliano Cantiano and Aaron Spears. Aaron Spears, really cool. And I enjoyed that day a lot. And it's a good thing that drum festivals happen, because it's a very special thing. In live shows you always just see the guitarists playing and never really the drummers so much, and it's also a good occasion to ask questions and also explain stuff what you're doing on the drum set, because a lot of people can't really understand what you're really doing, and this is a good occasion. So yeah, I think that was a very positive experience.
Yeah, great. And what about your band, Obscura? Are you writing some new stuff for the new album?
Yeah, we just started. I actually had a lot of material which I wanted to use, but then it ended it was the last album, Omnivium, came out, a little more than 2 years, maybe two and a half years ago. And the production was pretty intense. It took a lot of time to put it together, and since we were riding on tour, and that's maybe not the best solution to have a nice and relaxed approach to a new album. So this time we want to get back to writing as a band and meet in person and exchange ideas, because that's, I think, what creates the best results. And yeah, we just started with that. I think we will take some more time, maybe 1 year from now, until the album will be out or something like that, because you can't, an album is like something that sticks with you forever. So there's no need to rush or do things quickly just to have a new album out, because it's a state of art. And that's why we rather take more time. I wrote a lot of stuff, as I said, but then it was 45 minutes of music, and if you have an album that is 50 minutes and one guy wrote 45, that's not a band anymore. And so I took my ideas, which were from the last album, which were leftovers from the last album, and wrote good songs with these riffs, and now I'm releasing that as a solo record with some guest guitar players, and that's gonna be a pretty cool album. but it sounds very much like Obscura because I intentionally wrote these songs for Obscura to follow up Omnivium. But then we also figured out that it might be better to have a change in the style a little, because we don't want to record the same record twice. And yeah, let's see what happens with the next album. We just collected a few ideas and started out writing material, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen.
And what about Blotted Science? You recorded with this insane band an incredible EP.
Thanks.
Do you think that you will record a full-length album with the band in the future?
Yes, I think so. We already wrote some stuff, ideas and such, and actually we had the rough idea to bring it on stage. And also I think we want to get back to a more like the first album with Charlie on drums, and have a little more groovy kind of interpretation of this kind of music, because the EP I played on is very, very complicated and very hard to play with a lot of notes, but it was for a reason. And I wanted to, we want to go back to write songs that are actually playable a little more easy and not so shreddy all the time. And but we wrote some stuff and checked it out, and it's the same thing. Like, we want to extend the style, go back to the more groovy stuff, but as well like bring in new elements. And Ron told me like, hey, everybody should write, like Ron Schatzenbeck, the guitar player of Blotted Science, he said like, hey, I think everybody should write songs and riffs, everybody in the band, like the three of us, not just him or Alex, but he said like, hey Hanness, you should also write material. Can you come up with something? And I said like, I don't know, sure, maybe. And I put together some ideas, and yeah, I think it's gonna work out really fine. So it's also gonna take a lot of time, because it usually takes a lot of time with that kind of music. But we're working on a full-length album. So whenever we're not busy with other stuff, we try to spend time on Blotted Science songwriting. So that's gonna happen for sure as well.
Maybe some years ago you released your first DVD, Progressive Concept for the Metal Drummers. Are you working now on some new stuff about the didactical aspect?
Educational or instructional videos. I have ideas for that. Actually, I worked out a system to explain music in a musical way. Well, it's hard to say. I worked out a system for composing drum lines. Not a system like, the usual stuff you always use. It's just more of a flexibility chart to explain people, hey, what are the factors that make music? And this is something that could be great for a DVD or something like that, but I don't know. I want to do different things first, and I just I just wrote a book on extreme metal drumming because lucky enough, Hal Leonard, the chart music publisher from the United States, asked me to do an adaptation of Alex Webster's bass book, which called Extreme Metal Bass, And they said, hey, it did so well, we didn't expect that. And Alex said, yeah, sure, because there is not so much educational material on, especially on bass and extreme metal bass, and he's like a legend in that kind of style. And he recommended me, hey, if you want to do like drum books on that stuff, this guy could do it. He can read music, he knows very well, is very educated, just make, in terms of drumming, he just released a DVD, and I was like, hey, awesome, I'm gonna release a book now. And I wrote like the book on extreme metal drumming, that's the title. It's out now and at Hal Leonard Music Publishing, and pretty sure you can get it in music stores if you order it. And it's just it's not so much my own style only, it's also about extreme metal drumming in general. Like, you know, I do warm-ups and improving hand speed, and then improving blast speed, double bass, advanced double bass. Also, you know, explain some of the musical approaches on these things, doing polyrhythmic double bass, breakdown patterns which are used in, you know, the more metalcore. I'm maybe not the biggest fan of that, but it's part of extreme metal, so it has to be in the book. And it's more a collection of what's happening in extreme metal these days, with 3 play-along songs and stuff like that. And that's something I just did. Something of my own, like really what I think is only me as a player, not reflecting like a specific style of playing. I don't have very concrete plans, like oh, I've written down a script, we can start tomorrow. No, that's not what I do. I just, if I want to work, you know, the DVD I recorded like 2 years ago is now out on Hudson Music as digital download. You can, at hudsonmusic.com, you can get like digital download access to all their releases, and they were kind enough to put my DVD on Hudson Music, which, you know, is like a dream come true, because all those great DVDs are on Hudson Music, right? And yeah, and I think if I'm gonna make a new DVD, because the first DVD I did turned out pretty well, but I did everything myself. The filming, the audio engineering, the editing, and next time if I do it, I want to have somebody taking care of the cameras and filming and video production, somebody care of the recording, and maybe somebody to edit it, because I did that myself as well, or at least help me with editing, and that's gonna cost a way more, and I'm not gonna do that on my own. So if I want to make a new instructional format, it doesn't need to be a DVD, maybe it could be also something like an online lesson course or something like that, where you can just download chapters and stuff like that. If that's gonna happen, I won't only do it by myself, because it's too much effort to do it another time. Maybe, let's see. I would rather work with a company for that, and I don't know, the DVD market in general is declining a little, so I don't know what will be the future of instructional releases. Maybe books are the better way to do that. And let's see, I have ideas, but nothing planned. So, you know, if some company approached me and said like, hey, could you do like some stuff of your own? And I could say, yeah, give me some time. And then maybe I work half a year out my thoughts, and then I would be ready to do something. But at the moment I'm busy with session work. I do clinics, like now I will be on tour with Obscura in November, supporting Death to All, which will be amazing, I think. And yeah, a lot of stuff coming. So, and solo record, I want to do the solo record, to finish it and do maybe a little crowdfunding campaign. We talked about that yesterday, similar to Marillion, like ask guys to support my music and buy the album in advance, and then I print it for those people who want to listen to it. And let's see, A lot of projects in the work, and I have a project with Sebastian Lanza from Panzer Ballet, and so a drum-only project, and it's a lot of work. And I have a new band started called Alkaloid. Okay, you see, there's so much stuff I'm working on, and I rather want to work with artists and bands than just focusing on, you know, the clinics were great, don't get me wrong, the clinics were fantastic, but I don't want to end up like only doing educational stuff and only playing on drum festivals just the playback. I want to play with real bands and real people and record albums, and that's my favorite thing to do, and that's what I'm focusing on. And maybe 1 or 2 years from now I think about doing another instructional piece. Let's see.
Okay, so Hanness, thank you so much for this amazing video interview. Thanks for being in Italy. It was a pleasure for us.
Yeah, it was
and
my
we
pleasure.
hope to see you soon. Maybe for another show, drum festival, drum clinics, whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.